figure is a bit fragile. Hey, what's up you guys, Shartimus Prime here, doing another Figma figure review on the Figma Max Factory Mikasa Ackerman Attack on Titan figure. This is a cool looking piece, and I gotta give a big thanks to Figma for making this review possible. And also check out Toy News Eye for a full gallery of images, and if you're trying to pick up this figure yourself, you can find it at Big Bad Toy Store.
Big! Get your big badass toys at bigbadtoystore.com. Click the link in the description below.
So this is a very cool looking figure, a very popular show right now. It is huge. People are going crazy over it. Jose, thank you so much for, letting me know about it. He's like, hey, I know you love Spider-Man. You would really dig this show. I'm like, hey, you know what? This is pretty badass. So look at all these pictures over here. We have Mikasa over here, all set up, different poses and stuff like that. Nice packaging over here. Number 203, Mikasa Ackerman at the bottom. Another picture of Mikasa down there. So yeah, looks pretty dope. I can't wait to see how this looks, so let's crack her open. So here's Mikasa out of her packaging, and this is a great looking figure. Oh man, this is awesome. Okay, there are a lot of accessories to talk about with this figure, but first I really want to give you my quick, brief summary of my take on the show, because one reason I really like it so far, and I'm only through episode 6 or 7 right now, so I'm not even really that far in, but I think it's badass, because basically I think it's like a cross between Walking Dead, Spider-Man, and Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles. Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but there's these giant zombies that are trying to break through the wall where all the people live in there. You have these scouts over here that are basically soldiers that are trained to kill these zombies, which are called Titans, and then there's different kinds of Titans and everything, and they eat people, but they don't need to eat people, they just do it for fun. And what these guys have over here is this whole really intricate system of having these grapples that shoot out over here. They hook to walls, so they have these strings attached, right? There's the Spider-Man part, but then they have these jet boosters over here too, and you can see the gas that comes out over here in the back, and they have this effect going on, which I'll take a closer look at later on, so they can actually like push along aside from just swinging with the grapples, which is really badass. And then they have these awesome blades right over here too, which are really cool, that they use to cut the back of the necks of the Titans. So really cool show. This is a very cool figure. Let's take a closer look at all the accessories with this figure. There is a lot to go through. So Mikasa has 3 different faces. Like many Figma figures, you can't interchange the faces on these figures, and I think this looks very accurate to the cartoon series. It looks like Mikasa very much has that anime kind of look to it. It's very smooth sculpt, and I think the decals on it for the eyes and paint applications came out very clean. So you just pull this apart right over here, then give her a facelift, get it? Put this stern face right over there, right back on, and then put the hair back on over here like so, and it pegs in nicely. Now we have a very concerned or angry Mikasa. Look at, she's gritting her teeth. I like the pink paint applications on her mouth. And finally we have her Titan attack face. Look at that. That is cool. I like the pink in the mouth over there. Very anime look over there. Nice sculpting on this. And as I keep interchanging these faces, I really like the hair sculpt more and more. It seems to have a little bit of a dark bluish hue to it. And I didn't really show the top of the head, but you could see her hairline right over there at the very top. And then you can actually remove this little collar over here and replace it with her scarf. And I think they did a really good job on this scarf. I really like the little tattered section right here at the very bottom. It's made out of a soft, pliable material, so I like that. And it's also sculpted to be tapered around the breasts, so I think that's really cool. We also have this soft, pliable material right here for her jacket. We have the wings of freedom over here on her shoulders and on her back. That hole right there is for the flight stand, of course. Nice wrinkles sculpted in here. I like the silver paint applications on the buttons. That came out really nice. And you can see some more straps underneath here, which I should have shown before I put on the scarf. But yeah, that is really cool. I think she looks better with the scarf on. And then she also comes with her Survey Corps cloak, which looks really nice. Again, wings of freedom over here. Very nicely done. I like the silver button right there. Nice wrinkles and sculpting in this. It's made out of a little bit of a firmer material than the scarf, but it's still a little pliable, so you could still move it around a little bit. Then you got to remove her head and then pop this over to get this on. So again, we remove the head. This rests on her shoulders nicely, and then we could pop her head right back on. That's a pretty nice look right there. That looks pretty badass. I really like that a lot. That is awesome. Now if you want, you can plug the flight stand right in there, so that will go in nicely like this. You can just plug that straight in, or you could use this clear peg right here and plug this in there so that it stays secure and you don't have to worry about it wobbling around or anything, or having that gaping hole in the back. And we move on to these blades over here, which look incredible. These things are badass. I really like this. These handles have buttons on them so that they can control the gas and the grapples and everything, and they have another button or something where you can unlock the sword in case case it gets broken or rugged, and then you can interchange it with another sword blade right there that she holds at the hip. But those are only for display. They are not actually removable. I tried pulling one out and it was just the little thing right there. And you can remove the cable from the bottom over here if you want to make that easier. I like the purple paint application over here. What I thought was really interesting about these blades is that, to me, they face the wrong way. I'm used to the katanas and stuff facing like this, you know what I mean, with the angled side towards the opponent. But they've actually made it very, very clear. In the show, you see them hold it so it's facing this way, and that the edge of this blade is actually cut thinner right there. I think Figma did a great job with their attention to detail to make sure that this side had the edge to it. And you can see how the wire coming from the handle goes all the way to this piece right over here. And then I could remove these hands as well. She comes with a number of interchangeable hands. So the figure comes with 5 different sets of interchangeable hands, and I really like, again, that Figma has given us this hand rack over here, which is really, really awesome. So these are the 2 that she was using earlier holding the sword, so you can see the 2 trigger fingers right there, which is very, very nice. I'm glad that they gave us that. We also get another set of sword holding hands right over here without the trigger fingers sticking out. We have some fisted hands, we have some relaxed palm hands, we have these wide open hands right here. Now we're on to the grapple section of the figure, and I'm looking at these 2 spots right over here, and this is where the grapples shoot out and hook onto walls and everything. So she gets these 2 grapples. They look like spears over here. Here's one of them. Really nice paint applications over here. Over at the tip, you can see it has this tealish metallic color, and then it's just a solid black. We get this peg shape over here at the end of it, and then you can just plug it right into this like so, which is kind of tricky. Let's see here. There we go. There, and you have to excuse my bandaged thumb, by the way, but there it is, firing one of the grapples. Looks like she has a happy one, huh? And as you saw earlier in the video, she does come with 2 of these things. And she also comes with these 2 little grapple effect things, and you attach these on both sides, so you can see how these are sculpted inside right here. So you clip this one on the right side, then you clip this one right here on the left side. And then the last grappling accessory we get are these hooks right here that have string that plug right into the grapple port, and these things are about 11 inches long, and you can just hook this right onto anything you want and then have it stretch out and attach to the figure, and it looks pretty cool. So I have that hook attached to the strap around the camera, and yeah, you can see how that looks right there. Pretty cool effect. And then on her left side, you can see how it fits right here while having the actual grapple attached inside there. This is a very, very nice look. I think it looks awesome, especially having this string effect coming out over here. I think that is pretty cool. And in case you break them or anything, you do get extras with the figure. And at the end of each of these things, you could remove the hook right over here, and then it comes with 2 of these little plugs, so you can plug that in. And then this little peg that sticks out over here, I guess you could plug that into something else and some kind of display piece. I really like the detail that they put in over here on this piece and on the waist piece. And then this is where the gas comes out of, or the jet stream gets released from. And then you could peel this off over here and then attach the accessory that shows the smoke stream. I really like this smoky effect. Very, very nicely sculpted. It looks really, really cool. It has this hole right here at the bottom of it, so you can plug it into the stand, and then here's the cap. Plug this into the back over here, and then there you go. And then, like how I showed earlier in the video, you can have this on the stand from this instead of the back of the figure, which I think is really, really cool. And the paint applications right here on the gas tank and the sheaths for the swords are really nice. I really like this paint application over here. This nice gunmetal look, and then we have some green and then nice silver right here on the tanks. This is just a very, very nice looking piece. You know, it looks all big and clunky, and whenever these characters walk, it sounds like they're made out of metal because these things look like they're kind of heavy, you know? But as far as the figure goes, I really like the attention to detail right here. I just think they did a great job. Then we have the legs of the figure, these straps coming around. As always, I like the silver paint on these buckles. Looks very cool. Nice, clean, white seams right over there. And the boots look very, very nice too. I like the sculpting on the treads right here at the bottom of her feet as well. Just really well done. I really like it a lot. She does come with her own stand, which looks great. Very clear stand. You can rotate it over here at the base. It bends right here. We get a second joint over here. It rotates up and down, and we have the peg sticking out over here. And you also can change it out with this peg, so you can add this and plug that into the jet stream section, which works out very, very well. And Mikasa comes with an instruction sheet that is extremely helpful in putting things together, especially like the gas tanks and everything around her waist and stuff, because it really does attach in 5 different places. It attaches on the back, on the hips, and on the thighs. And last but not least, she comes with her own little Ziploc bag, so you could store all of these accessories. Mikasa has a great amount of articulation. I really like the articulation on this figure. Her head can move up quite a bit, and that's that's with the cloak on too, so that's pretty nice. You can move up that far, and she can move down a bit. That's pretty good. And she rotates side to side, and she has some neck pivot going on over here too. And after removing the cloak, she doesn't look up much more, but she does look down a little bit more. She has great shoulder joints that move forward and back at the armpit over here. They move outward. You can rotate them forward, and you can rotate side to side right over here at the top of the shoulder. She has double jointed elbows that bend in pretty far, and she does have wrists that move side to side and down and up. And I forgot to mention earlier that she does come with an extra wrist peg in case you lose it or break it. Figure has a great diaphragm joint over here, so you can get her to crunch forward and back, rotate side to side, and get a bit of a pivot. She also has a waist joint under the skirt, which allows her to move side to side. You can get her to pivot and crunch forward and back at the waist as well. And these guys over here have some articulation too, so you can move these side to side like that, and you can rotate them forward and back a little bit, which is very, very cool. So you could rotate these in a number of ways. You kind of have to be careful with them. They will pop out if you're too rough with them, but you really don't want to be rough with this figure at all. You want to give it a lot of love. She has hip joints that move outward very far, so you can get her to almost do the splits, but not quite. And she does kick forward very far as well. And just like the Figma Link figure, there is this split right here on the side of the skirt, so it does allow for all that leg movement. She does have an upper thigh swivel right here. There's a cut right here at the strap, which is very nicely placed. She has a great knee joint that bends in more than 90 degrees, which is very cool. And then she also rotates at the knee as well. She has ankles that move down, up. You can rotate them side to side a little bit. She has a beautiful ankle pivot and toe articulation. And Mikasa stands at a pretty decent height, just under 6 inches tall. And comparing Mikasa to some of my other Figma figures, here she is next to Figma Link. And there she is next to Figma Samus, the Figma Amazing Spider-Man, and then for good measure, the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Again, I think this is a great figure. I highly recommend it. And please watch the show if you haven't watched it already. I suggest skipping to episode 5 or something like that if you just want to see the really good stuff. You know, it's a really good show. I'm going to continue on watching it. I really like it so far, and I really like this figure. So if you watch the show, you're going to want to get the figure. Very, very cool figure. If you want to see a full gallery of images, please go to toynewseye.com. I've already taken a bunch of pictures of her. And also, thanks again to Figma for making this review possible. If you like the review, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Crispy.
Again, please forgive the wounded thumb.